Good evening and welcome to WriterGreg on Twitch. I'm glad to welcome everyone here, and we've had a couple new followers and that were announced during the starting screen, and I'd like to welcome everyone that's in the chat and all those who will be watching this in the future. Especially want to welcome Faster Do and Lorraine LL, who are joining us tonight. So thank you for joining. Glad to see you're here, and welcome to the stream where we are going to be talking about WorldAnvil Summer Camp 2020 Writing World Building Challenge prompts number 7 and 8, and we will be getting into that. I want to switch over and share some good news that I have recently joined the Anvilite Streamer Corps, and this is an association of streamers, broadcasters, and the like who use WorldAnvil, and it's a great platform, and I'm really excited to be a part of that group. And a link to this website is in the panel descriptions down below under my WorldAnvil panel header. So you'd be able to visit this page at any time. And yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I have too many. Lorraine, yes. Thank you very much for coming. I'm glad that you did find me, and I'm glad that I was able to find the Anvilite streamers. And we do have a new follow with eSongbird. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad to have you here, and welcome to the stream. As I was mentioning, the Anvilite Streamer Core is available here on the link down in the panel description for WorldAnvil. And I am here, and I'm this light blue. So the WriterGreg Fantasy World. So whether you're on Twitch and you want to look at my schedule there, or you can look at the Anvilite Streamer Core website, Google Calendar, you'll be able to see my calendar here. I do traditionally stream in the evenings for the month of July at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time every day except when I have a family commitment or Sunday. But every other day I will be here at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, which is -7 UTC for those. And yes, I am really excited. I had found eSongbird. I had found the Streaming Core members before I found the Streaming Core. So as a part of Discord, I was really excited to see them and see that announcement on the WorldAnvil Discord channel. And so I'm really glad to be a part of this group and hope to build the community of writers and world builders and be able to share a lot of fun ideas in the process of writing. I have some great plans in store for August after the challenge. So please follow, and you'll be able to see these, receive the notifications of when I go live on Twitch. And also the WriterGreg First Drafts channel on YouTube, where I post the rebroadcasts of these Twitch streams. So I am not a Pacific time zoner. I actually am a Mountain time zoner, and I live in the Valley of the Salt Lake in Utah, but I lived in Anaheim, California for about 9 years, and I just say PST because people are more frequently used to converting from PST to what they do, where they are, than they are from converting from Mountain Daylight Time, because you get into this, well, Arizona, they never change daylight. What does Utah and Idaho do? So I just find it easier just to say Pacific Daylight Time, as is frequently mentioned by Janet and Dimitri when they do their WorldAnvil. So while I thoroughly enjoyed my near decade in the Golden State and Southern California, I'm not living there now. And yes, being, yeah, there's always that East Coast, West Coast. trying to convert time zones, and that that is a challenge. And if anyone has challenges figuring out, there's this World Time Buddy on the Anvilite streamers, and so that is going to be available there as well. If you have any questions, and I've had some people on the Discord, World Anvil Discord, say, "Hey, I would have loved to have joined your stream, but you stream at 2 o'clock in the morning." And for them, I just say, there's YouTube and video on demand. So whenever you join us, that's great. I'd love to have people here, but let's get started in the World Building Summer Camp. So feel free to stop me at any time. I do have the main screen that you see right in front of me under my computer. I have a second monitor over here where the comments come in. So feel free to jump in or ask any questions, and I may need to take a drink of water anytime soon because they say hydration is very important. So let's jump into the work for today. And the first one we're going to get into is to describe a counterculture in your world, something outside the mainstream culture of the place. And it looks like we're going to be using the ethnicity tab. Yeah, Lorraine, yeah, most of the streamers are on when I'm at work for 10 months of the year, education. So I think we need more NA streamers to fill in the evenings. What's NA? New audience, new adults, young adult, World Anvil. Yeah, and so North America. Ah, yes. I am smack dab in the middle of the Western North America. So, yeah, and I hope to be able to fulfill that. I do have a lot more plans because I do work during the day in North America. I do have plans on doing things in the mornings before I go to work and in the evenings after I go to work. And I'll talk more about that because this is my first time streaming these past couple of weeks. I'm really excited and loving to learn all the new stuff. So, yeah, and I'm really excited that my lunch break is the exact time that World Anvil goes live almost every day of the week. So I'm able to jump into those streams as well. All right. So let us go into the ethnicity of a counterculture. For those who are wondering, my world is Sagadorm. Sagadorm is a world that is a fractured fairy tale. Yes, it is a very convenient schedule time, and I have a work meeting that goes right up until noon, and I always pray that the meeting doesn't go over. So, yeah. So when we talk about Sagadorm is the world that I'm talking about. It is available, of course, publicly available on World Anvil, and this is a world that I've created where I can place fractured fairy tales. And when I mean fractured fairy tales, if you read the original Grimm fairy tales or Hans Christian Andersen or any of the old 17th, 18th century fairy tales, they are boring. And they don't have very good characterization, motivation, plot, or anything like that. So what I do is I take inspiration from original fairy tales from the Grimm, not Disney, original Grimm fairy tales, and I work them into a combined universe where all of the fairy tales actually happened. And that is where I have my world called Sagadorm. And saga meaning story, and dorm comes from the Latin or Spanish word dormir, or to sleep. So Sagadorm is literally bedtime stories. So that's where I am. I do have fiction that is available for free, and I plan to getting it over into the new manuscript, but trying to do all of this with the summer camp has been really exciting. And of course, I do have my summer camp 2020 articles already written out there. So those are a lot of fun ones. Now, I am going to be doing something brand new tonight, which I hope works. Because what I found in other nights is that I was typing and talking at the same time, and the talking was very, very slow. Yes, Lorraine says, sounds similar to Mercedes Lackey 500 Kingdom setting. Yes, it is. I've never read those books, so I can't confirm or deny that. But yeah, of what I know of the 500 Kingdoms setting, it's very similar. Hopefully, I'm not copying anything, but I couldn't tell you because honestly, I haven't read those stories. But those it sounds like a book series that I would love to get into, but I haven't yet. Sorry about that. Okay, so something I want to do new tonight is to do something a little different. Hard to copy what you have not read. Yeah, that's very true. And I do need to read more. Stephen King says something to the lines of, you can't be a good writer if you're not a good reader. And that is one failing that I have as a writer, is that I don't read enough. And so I've been spending so much time reading nonfiction on the craft and skill of writing, of world building, of plot development, and all that, that I haven't spent enough time digging into actual fiction published today of my contemporaries and what they want to have out there. So that's something that I definitely need to work on. So let's switch scenes here on the channel. All right, and what I have here, and okay, there we go. What I have here is a notepad for Dragon Naturally Speaking. So what I have on the left half of the screen is on my main Linux computer, where we will be typing and we'll be working with all of the prompts and typing in the information. What I have on the right hand of the screen is called the Dragon Pad, and this is a part of Dragon Naturally Speaking. So if I turn on my microphone, not that. So when I turn on my microphone, you will be able to see that I am going to have typed for me what I say out loud. And I'm just going to pause a minute to see if that actually comes up on the screen that I have over there. Yeah, it looks like it's coming across quite nicely. Period, new line, new line. And we can keep talking. And the exciting part about this is I will be able to share the story of the article that I want to write without having to slow down to type it. And then I'll be able to copy and paste that into the article as we go along. So hopefully this will be more entertaining for you, the watcher, without me being so super slow in typing and all the spelling errors and stuff like that. Yeah, I worked on this morning instead of working on my writing sprints. So you can see that there's no punctuation. And I do hope that this is going to be helpful going forward to make it more energizing, and I don't have to worry so much about stumbling over how to spell things. So, new line, new line. So let's get started. All right, I'm going to turn off the microphone here for a little bit and get rid of all of this. But oh, I'm so glad that that worked. I was worried about that because, you never know what's going to happen. All right, so what we're going to start off with, the reason why I'm doing prompts 7 and 8 tonight is because I enjoyed the 4th of July weekend. Thanks, Faster Do. I'm glad that you liked it. I was I was gone for the 4th of July weekend up in the mountains here in the Rocky Mountains, and I didn't have a very good internet connection. I could barely get texts in and out, and it was very spotty. So I had my trusty notebook, and I was able to make as many notes as I could. And so what I have not, I only had the prompt that I was working on with that, and I haven't looked at these pages themselves. So I don't know what the page is asking for, but I do know what I have written here. So hopefully we'll be able to take the information that I created here, get it into the format, and just create a good a good a good transition. Sorry, brain, talking too fast. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a counterculture. I was in Texas for the 4th of July. I swear most of those fireworks were gunshots. No comment. Words are hard. Ain't that the truth? And yeah, and you spend all day working it. You're at work. You're typing up emails, and now you have to be eloquent in front of the world. And so, I wish I could make the font bigger so I don't have to squint so hard to see that. I love that emote of Tolben's. Yeah, if there was some way I could get some of those emotes over here, man, I would love to be able to use them. But I'm still learning. I'm not. I do have a goal to be a Twitch affiliate, so please share with your friends. And once I get 50 followers, I should be able to become an affiliate. So, yeah, I'm blind. As the reason I wear glasses is because contacts wouldn't work. Alrighty, so let's get into this. A lot of the I'll try not to repeat a lot of the things that I talked about in the previous articles, but I can't get away from that because there is so much to really get into about how this relates, because it's hard to describe a counterculture without describing the culture itself. And so I'm not sure exact. Okay, this is the draft. First, let's get into the important stuff. We have the title for navigation. I'm going to put this down into my Summer Camp 2020 challenge. Go back to the title. I haven't really come up with the name of this counterculture yet, because it's a separate religion. The main religion that I have in the world is called the let's see, what did I call it? The worship of the 5 dragons, and that may not be the official. Let me take a look up here. No, I'll add Sable the Peaceful, who was the chancellor of one of the sects of the five dragons. But all right, Zug Mad Dog and all those who are joining us from his raid, do welcome you to the WriterGreg stream. Glad to have you here, and hope that you're ready to enjoy some WorldAnvil Summer Camp 2020 brainstorming. And thank you so much, Zug Mad Dog. And yep, hype. Yep, it's a raid. Zog, I want to congratulate you for being the first person ever to raid my Twitch channel. I am so happy that I was able to meet the Anvilites and to be able to part of that group. So thank you so much for everyone for coming over and sharing the love of WorldAnvil and the Summer Camp. Yes, you are the first and you are mighty. Well, welcome. And Yes, the for those who are interested and not knowing what I'm talking about, the Anvilite Streamer Core, the link. Thank you, Zogmagdog. The link is in the panels below. Under my World Anvil, you will see a link to the Sagadorm, but also you will see a link to the Anvilite streamers, and I have on screen now the shared calendar so that you can see all of the Anvilite streamers and where they are, and you may need to adjust for your time zone, especially because this calendar says it's 1:20 in the morning Greenwich Mean Time. And so I'm assuming that most of you who are joining me live are here in North or South America. So welcome, bienvenidos, bienvenue, and howdy. Glad to see all of you. All right. Oh, the auto MD is up, likely because too many people were posting raid comments. Oh, allow, allow, allow. Yeah, okay, sorry. Um, I'm still new to this, and I am just so happy to have everybody here and all of the new followers as we get into talking about counterculture. I'm a little bit behind on the howdy from Europe in the land where it's wow. Delian, you are amazing that you're able to stay awake. I don't know. So, are you up really, really late or are you up really early? I gotta know this. Yeah, Songbird, I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to see so many of you joining in this stream tonight. This is wonderful and very humbling to have all of you here. So, um, yeah, so let's get started. Zagadorm is the world that we're building in tonight, and too many good streams. I'm just following them and writing my 10th article. Wow, your 10th. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to having the articles, the next set batch coming out this Friday. And I'm just so lucky that the stream, Greenwich Mean Time, just happens to be at 12 noon my time zone so that I can watch it on my lunch break. And yes, uh, I've done the 4 a.m. thing. I have 5 kids and a dog. I've done the midnight waking up thing. It is not easy, not easy at all. Okay, so let's talk about the title. So we're talking about a counterculture, and we in the world of Sagadorm, a world where there are the fairy tales that we know are being reimagined, reinterpreted, and mushed together in a combined cinematic universe to steal the MCU or the DCEU. And so we have I was really struggling when this one was announced. Um, Lorraine, I have a culture of elves who are all known for wearing masks for specific survival reasons to their environment. So my counterculture are from the culture, but they don't wear masks because they don't live in that environment. They are mostly the younger elves who are like, yeah, we don't live in the forest, so we don't have your dangers. Yeah, yeah, that is a good one. Um, I wearing masks, please wear masks. That's all I'll say. Yeah, so the counterculture that I have is I wanted to have two religious groups, and I did not want to have the religious groups based on anything that is in the current culture or the current mainstream. And so the two religions, the first one I have is the worship of the five dragons, and that one is based on oh, the masks aren't to avoid getting sick. The environment, yeah, the environment should be the U.S. beaches and bars. Yeah, and that's why I was up in the mountains. You know, it's hard. It's here in the Rocky Mountain West. We're pretty social distanced as it is. Not very crowded compared to other more populated states, but we were in the mountains. It was nice and sparse. So to talk about the two major religions that we have, the one that I've already talked about in a previous stream is the worship of the five dragons. That is astrologically based, meaning that the four moons we have the four moons of Sagadorm, which are moons of magical power that orbit around the world of Sagadorm. And because there's four moons and the way that they rotate, there are actually 16 months in my calendar year. And for four of those months, each in succession, each moon is at its perigee, which means it's closest to the Earth, and apogee. So while one's in perigee, another one's in apogee, meaning one's closest, one is far away, and the other two are halfway in between. So we have this constant rotation of four moons who are consistently getting close, and so that is the worship of the four dragons. There's more about it if you want to read that article that talks about the celestial dragons. The five celestial dragons fought, four of them died, turned into the moons, and now power the magic of the world. So I don't know exactly the name of this religion, but the religion is Zolatry. And I don't know exactly Zolatry. Okay, Zolatry is instead of astrology, which is the worship or the worship of celestial or planetary stars and moons and suns and stuff like that. Zoolatry, I can't promise that that's the right way to say that. This is the worship of animals. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And we'll just call this the worshippers of the animals of Sagadorm. If something comes up better in the chat as we go along, feel free to throw something out, because I really don't have a good name for that. So let's save these changes. And all right, here we are, and we'll go back in the free form. And if you're wondering why half of my screen is white, we were showing that off a little bit earlier, but we'll get into that. Okay, family names, feminine names, masculine names, unisex names, other names. Nope, we really don't have anything to do with that. Ideals, beauty, gender, courtship, relationship. No, not a lot of that. Customs. Maybe we could get into that a little bit, but that's not really, I don't, And this is what I was worried about, going in and doing a lot of pre-writing up in the mountains before looking at what the ethnicity is, doing major organizations, well, that related location, parent ethnicities. Well, this isn't an ethnicity, this is a counterculture. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn on my Dragon Naturally Speaking, and I am going to read my notes, and then we'll just go from there. And so if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt, and we'll go from that. So let me turn on my transcription microphone. Testing, testing. All right. Backspace. All right. Before the rise of the religion of the five dragons that accompanied the rise of the power of the fairies, each of the countries worshipped different animals, period. The animals are naturally recognized as being of the four elements, period. The five dragons incorporated elements of zoolatry to encourage conversion, period. New line. The months of the dragon calendar uses the main animals to encourage adoption, period. New line. The zoolatry counterculture refuses to adopt the homogenization of their deities into tokens, period. New line. They still worship, open quote, the old ways, close quote, focusing on the principles portrayed by the animals, period. More savage, comma, nature-oriented, comma, instead of the, open quote, civilized, close quote, astrologically based faith. Okay, period. New line. The Fae, open paren, evil fairies, close paren, try to take the elements of zoolatry faiths and radicalize them into minions to do their bidding, period. New line. Zoolatry practitioners are typically anti-authoritarian, as the astrologists are seen as usurpers who set their ambitions. Oh, sent their ambassadors into the country to put too much influence over their government or king, period. New line. The zoolatry of old times are the main opponents to the influence of the Fairy Council until the events of the Ranger's Revenge, period. All right, so there we go with that. Let's move that keyboard, Control, copy, and I will dump this into my other window. Then I can copy this here and put it there. There we go. So that's what I'm doing here, that hopefully will make the events go faster, is because I'm not going to be typing all of this. So hopefully you enjoyed that. That was Dragon Naturally Speaking that I've been training and using it to get words into the computer faster. So we'll leave that. Let's switch to a different screen. All right, so we're back now to the main computer here, and let's talk about the worshippers of the animals of Sagadorm. So this is the counterculture that I have here, is the opposition between the new religion and the old religion. Hi, Shy Red Fox. Welcome. Glad to have you joining us. We're talking about countercultures tonight, and we just finished putting in all of this vignette here. So welcome, and please let me know if you have any questions. All right, so the culture and the counterculture that we have is the difference between the astrologists and Sanctified Savage. Welcome. I do hope you enjoy, and I do hope I earn a follow if you guys are entertained tonight, and to help support the channel and help spread the fun stuff of WorldAnvil. And let me go ahead and save these changes now that I got them in here. And there you go. Thank you very much. Scribe of Nikoti. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm not sure. Can do. Thank you very much. I think my channel has like tripled in size here. Okay. Thank you, Scribe of Nikoti. I'm glad that I was able to pronounce it right, because, yeah, English, it's hard. Yeah, I do like the sound effects. This was a package from Nerd or Die. They sell premium Twitch scenes, packages, and this is the one that was um, the most fairy-like, the one that I really liked the aesthetics of it, and you'll be able to. Yeah, I'm glad that you like it. All right, channel looks nice. I've been enjoying people doing these writing streams. Glad you're doing this. Thank you, Sanctified Savage. I love writing, and I hope to be able to build a writing, be a part of, and contribute to a writing community here on Twitch. And it's just not all people playing Minecraft or what are those other games? Fortnite. Whatever those are. There is English, and then there's nerds coming up with random crap English. Very true. Yeah, very true. I've seen this T-shirt that I really need to do, and it's this beautiful typewriter with magical essence coming out of it, and the bottom says, "I make stuff up," and that's very true. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's really heartening. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we got two prompts to go to. I'm so excited to have everybody here. So, and unfortunately, with the community challenge, I am only barely 200 words. So we need to get another 100 words. You play Destiny 2. Destiny 2. There's another streamer I follow, the T Monster. He plays a lot of Destiny 2. That's it was just a mind freeze there. Uh, I'm a Minecrafter. I love playing Minecraft, and maybe in the future months I'll do a Minecraft stream or two if I can get this. Oh, okay. You watch the T Monster, yeah. Fun fact: uh, the T Monster and I have known each other for probably 20 years. I don't know how long, but um, we knew each other from the early days of podcasting, and my original podcast all those years ago was called The Myth Show. And if you go into Podcasting for Dummies Edition 1, my podcast is featured as educational mythological podcast, and that was a long time ago. As you can tell by the wonderful studio lights that I have here, that just love to emphasize that I'm getting old. But new dogs, old tricks. Old dogs, new tricks. Whatever. Let's do this. Okay, so so what we're talking about here is, okay, the rise. We have the five dragons, and the religion of the five dragons is the religion of the fairies. In my world, let's talk about the culture. In my world, one of the problems that I have is, what kind of magic am I going to have? And because in the fairy tales that you get from the Brothers Grimm or the like, there's fairies, there's talking animals, and then there's just the regular people. And so I wanted to limit myself to that kind of a magic system. And so the fairies came up about, excuse me, they came up about 650 years before the Common Era. And and then the Common Era, the year 1 and 1 BC and then 1, is the establishment of what I call the Fairy Council. The Fairy Council. And so let's get rid of this. Fairy. No. I hope that doesn't. Okay, the Fairy Council. Right. So we have the Fairy Council, who is like a United Nations between all of the different realms. They send out ambassadors, they receive ambassadors, they try to keep all of the world in a semblance of peace. But their faith is very much based on the celestial dragons, the five celestial dragons, and astrology. whereas before that time, it was very much an animal worship. So with the rise of the astrologically based religion of the five dragons, we had the religions that worshipped the animals based on what country they were in. They were they were dropped down to a secondary class because only the fairies could perform magic. In fact, it'll probably be good to share with you a spreadsheet that I have that will maybe help. Yeah, here we go. Let's get rid of that. So so here you are with the what I call the powers. This is a spreadsheet that I created that have the different powers, and of course with the elements we have the air, fire, earth, and water, and then the sub elements of air, fire, earth, and water, etc. And it repeats for each one. And what I did is that I took animals that I thought would well represent the combination of those elements, and I put those here in column D. So we have in the air element, yeah, Sanctified Savage. It is a fancy spreadsheet. If there was ever anyone who needed to hear Janet's admonition about fairy shoes, right here, definitely. So, so these are my 16 creatures that we have. Like for the air, we have raven, owl, and gull, because an owl burrows in trees and earth, but a gull is on the water, and a raven is just in the air. Then we have in the earth fire. For fire, I count that as poison. Okay, so when looking for common animals that could be associated with fire, because we really don't have Charmander, or what are some of the other ones? Torchic, or my son would be so disappointed that I don't know all of the fire Pokemon right off the bat. So I picked poison. So the horned viper, the Komodo dragon, and the barracuda, because the barracuda is a poisonous animal in the water. Then for the earth, we have the cougar, lion, and wolf. For the water, we have the dolphin, eel, and the octopus. And then I have these legendary animals, which are the dragon, which when I say a dragon, I mean I don't know how to pronounce it, amphipter, which is 2 wings and no legs. Then I have the wyvern, or the phoenix. What people call a phoenix is, you think of Harry Potter, you fox the phoenix. My phoenix is actually a wyvern dragon, where there are 2 wings as 4 limbs and 2 clawed feet. And then we have the Urodela, fairy shoes. Yeah, I'll answer that question. Urodela is a salamander, which is a dragon that has no wings but 6 legs, 3 pairs. And then the Hydra is the 3 heads, but not that. Okay, fairy shoes, or elven shoes, I think is what she calls them. Elven. When you're world building, is it okay to talk about people's dress? Yes. Is it okay to talk about their cultures? Yes. But if you type 800 words on the intricate details of the construction of shoes used by elves, you might be world building a little too much. And so I had been working on this spreadsheet for a long time, and it's probably too much, but it's paying off in huge dividends because it's helping me answer these questions very quickly. So when I talk about the animals, for example, the raven, I have a country over here in column N. I have named all of the different the countries that are there. For example, Vetrozemlia is a country that is similar to Russia, and their animal that they worshipped before the fairies was the owl. Or Asham, Ashadama is worships the Komodo dragon. Erdenfer worships the lion, and Xianhu worships the hydra. So, and those. So when we see coat of arms, when we see things of that nature, the iconography of the hydra plays very heavily into Xianhu. So that, and I just have that information. So, Scribe of Nikoti, I hope that answered your question there. Okay. All right. So so when I so let's add another subculture. Okay, subculture. All right, the months of the dragon calendar uses the main animals to encourage adoption. Okay, very true. So let's. I'm gonna have to type into this because I don't have the. Okay, so the Fairy Council, under the direction of Sable, is that? Yeah, Sable created a new universal calendar. It is heavily influenced by the astrology of yes, yeah, Sable. Not intentional, but the character that my religious character from a previous one, his name is Sable the Peaceful. So, um, I was looking up a baby name generator, and when I was going through, I found the name Sable, which is your polar opposite. Okay, yeah. Well, the context I'm using it is Sable, meaning the Sabine, who were the people outside of ancient Rome who were conquered, the Sabines, and so he's Sable, the peaceful. So, maybe maybe his teachings will be able to enter into your heart, that you may adopt the ways of the metal dragon, or not. Okay, so we have here the universal calendar is heavily influenced by the astrology of the five dragons. Yeah, I love. Okay, let me be behind the name. Okay, so behind the name is my favorite word generator, because here you can go, okay, I want a first name, two middle names, and I want 5 of them. I want let's say feminine. I want to avoid rares and diminutives. And the example that I had is I had Greek and Roman selected, Greek myth and Roman, but let's throw in Slovene. Why not? Let's take out Greek. Let's keep Celtic, and now I can generate a name. And here I have all of these different names generated for me, and I just keep going through until I see one that I like. And Yafnag 8D. Can I put that link in chat? Sure. Copy and paste. All right, I hope I have permission to put that in there. Behind the name. And the neat thing about this is, like Zendeka, you can click that, and then you have the name, it's feminine. You have the history of it, the masculine and feminine, the alternate names, And so, okay, it's from the popularity in the Czech Republic, related names. So if you like Zdenka, but you want to try it, okay, Zdeno. That could be a fun masculine form if you want it. But yeah, behind the name, and there's also the sister site behind the surname.com. Nope. Okay, don't go there. Yet another, oh, Yefnag, yet another fantasy name generator. A random, yeah, name generator, just another name generator, sorry, but it does generate random, but it really does just generate random sounds. Yeah, I have another one, but in my world, where I have all of my countries based on real world cultures, because when I adapt a Russian fairy tale, I'm going to put it in Vetherzemlia. When I adopt a German fairy tale, it's going to be in Erdenführer. Or when I adopt an English one, it's going to be in the other country. Yeah. So yeah, and so that's I'm trying to uh, try to keep it real word names, but I often shorten it. Like my main character for another one is Vola, and Vola was a much longer name, but I shortened it for easier. Fantasy name generator as a generator. Let's copy link address. Ah, yes, I've been here before. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I love eSongbird. I love being able to have the meaning behind the name because I do want to understand and have the name to give meaning, even if that meaning is only known for me. Okay. Oh, all of these wonderful scrolly tangents. Okay. So back to it's not a subculture, it's a counter culture. Okay. All right. So, okay, the universal calendar, it's heavily influenced by the astrology of the five dragons, meaning my weeks have 4 days, 4 days, fire, earth, wind, and water. It has 4 weeks in a year, so each month is only 16 days long, a fortnight, and then but there are 16 months within the year. And the months in the dragon calendar, uh, it's not really dragon calendar, Trilenius, Trilenius. Yeah. Okay. The names of the Trilenius, which is the name of the place of the four dragons, calendar uses the main animals to encourage uses the the animals worshipped by the different countries to encourage adoption. So much as in ancient time, where the Catholic Church would go in and adopt the local customs and local holidays and turn them into Christian holidays, much like Saturnalius or the winter solstice celebrations became Christmas. I wanted to use kind of the same thing there, where they went and says, okay, we may have named the days of the week after the four dragons, but we'll give you your month, like the month of the raven, the month of the hydra, and stuff like that. And so that's what I have. Okay, those, all the tree count. Okay. And this is one problem using Dragon Naturally Speaking, is when I do my word sprints, I use Dragon to put it in there, but I have to add a whole second round of edits just to make sure that no transcriptions had. But so I may be able to do uh, a couple hundred words in 10 minutes, but I have to spend that extra time. But I really see that as a trade-off. Okay. So let's guess. Those of the counterculture uh, refused to adopt the homogenization of the deities into uh, token calendar names. Okay, so that is the bitterness that they have, is they just feel like, okay, they're just being adopted. Okay, they still worship the old ways, focusing on principles, portrayed, not pre-trade, portrayed by the animals. When I say more, not savage may not be the right word. More intense, in intense, nature-oriented, instead of the quote-unquote civilized astrological faith, astrologically based faith. Okay, so that's what we have there. All right, the Fae. All right, in my world, there are the Fae and there are the Fairy, and the Fae is often a term used in Shakespearean or European fairy tales as interchangeable with the Fae. For me, fairies and the Fae are human, life-size, almost Tolkien-esque elves, but there's no biological difference between the fairy and the Fae. It's more about their alignment. If you are, there's good, neutral, and evil. If you're good or neutral, you're a fairy. If you're evil, you're a Fae, to use the D&D alignment descriptions. Okay, that's okay. The Fae try to take the elements of the old ways and radicalize them into minions to do their bidding. Yeah, and I did want to I like the idea of there being a puppet master, because when you're going into different into series and sequels and stuff like that, you need to, I mean, you have the first level boss, then you have the second level boss, then you have the third level boss, and then eventually you get to the big boss. And I wanted to have these Fae being the puppet masters, often puppet masters behind the scenes pulling the strings. That way, a hero in or heroine in their journey would be able to go and have an antagonist in book one, but then discover that it's a part of a larger organization, and then that will take you into book two and book three. So that's what I have there. Excuse me. Let's save these changes. All right. The worship of the old Fae. Okay. There, and wow, they did not like that word, because I didn't know how to pronounce it, so I can't expect Dragon to actually understand me. Worshippers of animals are typically anti-Thorian, as the astrologists are seen as usurpers to the old ways. Okay, the fairy. Okay, the fairy council. Sent their ambassadors into the many countries. They felt that these ambassadors put too much influence over their local governments or royalty. Yeah. Okay. So, so let's put this down here. Okay, they focus. Okay, they worship. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the worshippers of the old ways are the main opponents to the influence of the Fairy Council until the events of the Ranger's Revenge. Okay, the Ranger's Revenge is a story, is a short story that I have in progress, and I wonder, and it is, the Ranger's Revenge is based on Puss in Boots that I have written, so let me save that, and will that, nope, nope, let's go here, and Worshippers of the Animals, okay, oh, cool, I was able to do that. All right, so let's get rid of Puss in Boots too, because yeah, hopefully that didn't break the link completely, because I don't want to spoil yeah, I don't want to spoil that too much. All right, save changes. Let's see how we're doing on our word count, because I would like to get another one done tonight, so I can keep up. But all right, I need 2 more words. Okay, counterculture. Those. Let's just go. Add another cultural relations. Okay, the worshippers, and okay. Not the best article, but I think it does give an idea of who they are, and this is definitely going to have to be expanded upon in the other ones, but I do like the idea of having a running antagonist. That running antagonist could be either from the counterculture of the worshippers of the animals, or it could be the underdog of someone who's trying to hold on to old ways while being ramrodded into a new culture or a new adoption. So that conflict there, the heart of good storytelling is the conflict. Because if we wanted to learn about everything that's going well, we wouldn't be reading fiction. We want to see people overcome, to conquer. And so, yeah, and that's what we'll do with that. Let's see if I can now submit it with exactly the word count that I need. All right, there we go. We have submitted the community challenge. All right, let's go to the progress page. All right, Worldbuilding Summer Camp. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about any questions from anyone who's out there. Do you have any comments, or maybe a better name than the Worshippers of the Animals of Sagadorm? I am more than willing to to fix that one. So I'll just give you a second there while the chat catches up. Okay. Thinking. Yes, thank you, eSongbird. Naming things is such a challenge for me. The animalists. Ooh, not sure. Animalists of Yep. Okay. Sable, you win. Let's edit the animalists because it sounds kind of like the minimalists. Sable for the definitely Sable for animalists. Yeah, the animalists. I don't password. What on earth? Okay, the animalists of Sagadorm. All right, save changes. And why LastPass is trying to save that as a username, I'll never know. Technology, it's a fad. It's all going to go away. Hopefully not. Okay, write about a rank that represents order in your world. Okay, now this is going to be a rank, and it's going to be new. Okay, so let's rank or title. Okay, now I do know the name of this one because this is the main character. Well, not the main character. The secondary character that I have for a story that I'm currently working on is a ranger. So this is the Rangers of Trilinius. The problem with making up words is they look good on paper, but I don't know how to pronounce them yet. So let's just make sure. Yeah, Trile. Nope. Okay. The Rangers of Trilinius. Now, let's see. Do I have an article for the Rangers yet? Yeah. Okay. I do have an organizational article. Okay. The Rangers of cool. Well, okay, so we'll take off the draft. We will go to navigation, make this summer camp. We will save the changes. Okay, good. So I'm going to switch back to my dictation screen. And there we go. Okay. The Rangers of Trilinius are members. No. Can't. Mouse. Okay, that didn't work. The Rangers of Trilinius were formed by the Fairy Council, period. Their primary and public purpose is to seek for the blessed animals in the wilds across Sagadorm and harvest their cores for the use by the Fairy Council and related organizations, period. New line, new line. Their more clandestine purpose is to be spies for the Fairy Council, period. And another public persona is to serve as the guardians of the ambassadors of the Fairy Council members, but they do not serve the ambassadors that serve between countries, period. Okay, so that's pretty much what I got from the notes that I made here, because I wanted to think about, okay, the Fairy Council, they need an army. they need to have something that they can call their own. Let's see, come back here. Okay, copy, because I'm working with two different computers. Okay, the Rangers. All right. Let's go back to the screen. All right, there we go. Okay. I'm not sure what you're talking about, eSongbird, about cool, but if you're referring to using Dragon Naturally Speaking to dictate things out so I'm not typing them live, yes, it is very nice. Well, the word count that I get using Dragon Naturally Speaking more than pays for itself. But that assumes that I actually make money from my, yeah, oh, the transition and the dictation. Yeah, Nerd or Die premium Twitch scenes. So I just hope that it doesn't get too much, because when I'm editing and I'm working out all of the things, I hear that sound like every 2 seconds as I'm jumping back and forth. So hopefully that it won't get too much for you as we listen along. Okay, so let's save these changes. And let's get into form of address, Ranger. That's his title. The same way you have Captain Kirk, Captain Picard, we just have Ranger. And it's not Ranger Bob. There will never be a Ranger Bob unless he's wearing a red shirt and dies in the first or 2 paragraphs. Alternate names, no, don't really have one. Type, okay, let's see what we have. Type, let's get a type here. No, not nobility. A religious military. Okay, let's put that one. Poor Bob. Yeah, poor Bob. All right, let's say if this is a religious military. Can't really see that very well. Okay, who do they report to? No, they don't report to the Rangers of Trillinius. Well, a ranger reports to the Rangers, sure. I'm still chuckling about that eSongbird. That's fun. Okay, related locations. I'm going to put Trillinius as the related location because, and as you see here, I have all of the different countries from my spreadsheet. I already have articles in here, but I'm going to put Trillinius because that's their main headquarters, even though they go all over the place. And of course, the Ferry Council is the organization they go to. Equates to what equivalent ranks exist in different organizations, e.g., a lord may be the same as a laird or a graf. I don't know if I have anything for that. Qualifications that need to title, a bachelor's degree. Requirements. Okay, I'm going to switch back over to the Windows dictation because I got some ideas on that. And I'd rather speak them out than make you listen to me type. Okay. Gotta wet my whistle. I don't. You know, this was full. 54 ounces. It was full at the beginning of this. Right. Qualifications. The Rangers of Trillinius are a paramilitary organization that reports to the Ferry Council, period. They are an elite organization of hunters and trackers that pride themselves in their survivability in any country or climate across the world of Sagadorm. Period. Their focus is to identify and track the blessed animals, comma, capture them, comma, kill them, comma, and harvest the ingredients for the Fairy Council. Period. New line, new line. The blessed animals of Sagadorm are those animals who have been blessed by the spirit of Sagadorm. Thanks, Songbird. Have a great dinner, and I will be back tomorrow night, Thursday at 7 o'clock Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and of course the information is on the calendar. So thank you so much for coming by and joining. And let's continue with this. Thank you very much for stopping by. Period. Upon their demise, comma, a blessed animal does not decompose, comma, but it instantly petrifies. Scratch that. Instantly petrifies. Period. New line. The last living organ in the petrification process turns into a large crystal called a, open quote, core, period, close quote. These cores power the magic of Sagadorm and are highly valued by the Fairy Council. Period. New line, new line. The other petrified remains of the blessed animal are also harvested for medicinal and magical potion brewing. Period. New line, new line. The rangers are trained in woodsmanship, comma, tracking, comma, survival, comma, infiltration, comma, and martial arts with weapons and without. Period. They also receive special training in the harvesting of cores and petrified remains to be used by the alchemists of the Fairy Council. Period. New line, new line. Rangers are young adults, comma, often orphans or those who seek adventure, comma, or cannot do not have a place in traditional society, period. They can come from any background, any station, any position, or lack thereof, period. The Rangers value hard work and skill, period. It doesn't matter who you are or who you were or the family name that you have, period. New line, new line. Those wishing to become Rangers must work with the ambassador of the Fairy Council in their respective countries, period. The Rangers on staff at the embassies give a basic training to the new recruits, period. Those who pass this basic training are sent to Trillinius for advanced training at the hands of the alchemists and seasoned rangers, period. Upon completion of the ranger training, they are often sent to other countries to serve at the pleasure of the local fairy ambassador, traditionally for the rest of their career, period. New line, new line. WD Michael, thank you very much for following. I really appreciate it. Hey ya. Thank you very much. We are talking about the Rangers, that it's a title, and glad to have you here. Looks like Lorraine knows you, and I'm glad to have you here on WriterGreg. Okay, so I'm using Dragon Naturally Speaking on my right, possibly your right, screen to just be able to get words down and to talk faster and hopefully be a little bit more interesting than me failing to type. And I have a hard out in a little bit here. Okay, so continuing on. The Rangers, as they age, go into the bureaucracy of the Rangers, period. They have easier positions, usually at the embassies, period. The younger Rangers are the ones that are out in the field and hunting for the blessed animals, period. The more experienced the ranger, the higher position they have within the organization, at the embassies, and the most skilled are taken back to Trillinius to the central headquarters, period. Okay. How are y'all doing tonight, summer campers? I hope everyone's doing well and is enjoying the stream and getting some ideas and inspiration, because I sure am enjoying the conversation. And Sable was she renamed one of my articles for me, so I'm really appreciative of the WorldAnvil community and everything that's been happening tonight. This has been a lot of fun. Okay, so I think that's enough information that we have here for the Rangers. Does anyone have any questions about the Rangers or what I have them doing? I'd love to hear from you while I transfer this over. Yes, World. I am so happy that I found WorldAnvil. I can't tell you uh, how wonderful has been. Okay, so let's transfer over to the Linux computer, full screen. Let's copy this and put this into the requirements. Oops, wrong screen. Okay, let's hurry and save this so we don't lose it. Save changes. Yeah, and I really like the group of people who are chatters on Janet and Dimitri's live streams. They ask such great questions. The the information, the skills, the experience that they have. I've never been an RPGer, though a buddy of mine is demanding that I get into an RPG with him as soon as we're released out of the pandemics. And so I'm just having a lot of fun learning about the TTRPG world and coming into it from the writing world. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Okay, so the last two paragraphs that I had here, I really was thinking about their appointment. So qualifications. Do I have replace here? Nope. Cancel. Ooh, don't leave that. Okay, it looks like it's has my fairy council thinking it's a boat that carries cars around instead of being fairies. Come on, dragon. You're a dragon. You know what I mean. Okay. So all right, that is, I think, some great information that we have here. So let's, just to wrap this up, let's go over to, not there. Let's go over to NaNoWrimo. I'm also competing in the Sagadorm WorldAnvil Summer Camp 2020 competition, which is my summer camp, NaNoWrimo summer camp. I put 10,000 words as the challenge because I wanted to just have that little extra, but just to do a little bit extra. So let's save the changes. Let's go to the metadata. This is 522 words. Awesome. So we'll go, yeah, Sable. Yeah, I'm doing that too. And surprisingly, my name is WriterGreg over there. So anyone who wants to become friends with me or buddies using the NaNoWrimo parlance, feel free to add me over there and we can encourage each other in November. My plan, okay, that was, okay, my plan is to live stream my NaNoWrimo in November. So the same way you saw me here tonight dictating into Dragon Naturally Speaking, I'm going to be doing the same in November, using October as my prep-tober, using manuscripts on WorldAnvil to build out my outline, and then using Dragon Naturally Speaking to dictate that whole thing out. But I'll probably mute it so that we can do it as a collaborative writing sprint. So those who want to join me will do 5-10 minute writing sprints, and we can just compare and work on that together. So let me add this. Update progress. Not bad. 3,600 words, and we're only a couple articles into it. Buddy invitation, surprisingly. I'm Sable already is on Nano as well. Yeah, it's so nice to have the same username. Yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun with this. I I should not be surprised how fun this is based on the community that I've met through WorldAnvil. I should not be surprised. Okay, so all right, so that is my stream tonight. We got through 2 of the prompts, and I'm so glad that we were able to do that. I gotta thank everybody who came tonight and followed and joined. This is so much fun for me. I hope that you enjoyed it too. And yeah, Sable, I'm glad that you had fun. I hope that this can be a fun place where we can learn, we can grow, we can talk about this and become better writers. And this, yeah, and hopefully this was entertaining for you in this format. If you have any recommendations, feel free to contact me on the WorldAnvil Discord as WriterGreg. I'm also here on Twitch as WriterGreg, Facebook WriterGreg, and YouTube as WriterGreg. The rebroadcast of this will be available in a 24, 25 hours from now on my second channel, WriterGreg First Drafts, where I put my streams as they are made available. So please help me reach those 50 followers. Hey, we're at 25. Wow. So thank you to WD Michael, Sanctified Savage, Scribe of the Nekotiti, Delian, Zog Magdog, E Songbird, Faster Do, Lorraine Allele, RPG Dinosaur Bob, Shy Red Fox for following and becoming a part of my friends here on Twitch. And until tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I will, where we will do the 9th and 10th prompts of the first batch. We'll do those tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific. And until then, I will see you on the Discord channel. So have a great night and best of luck with your writing challenges. Good night, everyone.